my camera's way high. Hey, Westside. Hey, Danny Dave. Hey, there we go. Now it's facing the right way. How you guys doing? Hey, David. Wrapping presents, getting some good karma. Nice. What'd you get me? Hey, Moose Socks. And silver went crazy today. It's already gone up. Even since I put that post up, that comment up, silver at record high, it's already gone up 2 cents since then. It's at 62.66 now. Whoa, it just jumped 5 more cents. 62.67. Man, if it keeps up like that, it might hit 63.64 by the end of the night. That's crazy. So I know with it being on a Wednesday, the turnout's going to be, who knows, could go either way. Hopefully we'll get a decent turnout. Hopefully. So this thing did pretty good in pre-sales. 73 lots out of the, I think I miscounted. I think it was actually, yeah, it was actually 149 lots, not 150. And 73 of the lots went in pre-sale. So we have 76 lots left for tonight. Yeah, there are a few countries that are completely gone. So like Canada, completely gone. Peru. Iran, Japan, Chile, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, El Salvador, New Zealand, Russia, Ceylon, Honduras, Fiji, Finland, Iraq. Kind of surprisingly, every coin from Guatemala is gone. That was 22 of the lots were from Guatemala, and they're all gone. So yeah, that's all the countries that are completely gone in pre-sale. Still lots of great stuff though. Or some of them I was actually surprised didn't go on pre-sale. Like the Kathiri Sultanate state of Kathiri I cannot talk right now. State of Kathiri Sultanate, Yemen. Hey, Gold Mabel. I'm doing alright. Considering that's the only time we've ever had one of those. So I figured that one would have been gone, but it's still here. The commemorative silver 10 shilling from Ireland. I honestly thought somebody would have bought that, but it's still available. The Kingdom of Prussia coin is still available. There's a few examples of the ones that I honestly didn't think were going to make it to the sale. But they did. All three of the 20 Balboas are still available if anybody was hoping. All right, we got 6 people on. I'm going to give it like 5 more minutes, then we'll get going. Kind of curious. I'm going to check a few of these, because a few of these might actually, with how much silver jumped over the last couple of days, 80 or 62.86 right now. It is closing in on 63 bucks. I'm going to check a couple of these while we're waiting the last few minutes here. All right, so the Liberia coins, the $20 coins from Liberia are now the price they're going for is now only $4.30 over melt for those coins. Let me see the 20 Balboas, because that's got to be closing in on melt on those. So at hold on. 62.81 times 3.8539. Yeah, current melt as of right this second on those 20 Balboas from Panama is $242.06. And the list price on them on the list is $250. So you're getting those for just a smidge under $8 over melt. And silver's just been going up and up and up. So I would be willing to bet anybody who buys even just the ones I just listed, the Panamas and those the Liberia coins, give it a week and you will have gotten them for under melt at the rate it's going. It's kind of nuts. Do I think people are... No, I think I have seen a lot of people, especially when I'm in at Rick's, that are going in buying silver in bulk. When I was there yesterday, there was one person came in and bought I think it was 8 or 10 tubes of 1 ounce silver coins. Yeah, people are still buying it up. Silver is in demand right now. It's because it keeps going up. Up and up and up and up and up. You got to think, a month and a half ago, silver was at $50 an ounce. It's gone up almost $13 in a month and a half. You've been to Yemen? Yeah, pre-sale's still active, so you can get it. Let me find it. Yemen. Where did you go, Yemen? Gotta find it on the list. There it is. You got it, Moosox. God. I gotta find it on the table. There it is. KLM. Moosox. Yeah, definitely good for anybody who's bought. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the beginning stuffs out the way and get this thing going. Hopefully we'll get some more people show up as we go. All right, for anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use Cheapskate Coins at gbl.com. Use goods and services only, please. Yeah, I'll put your name on it in a second, David. And use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email, cheapskatecoins at gmail.com. We also now have Venmo. Venmo at Cheapskate Coins. If you use Cash App or Venmo, it will say Louis Cachera. That's me. You are in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being the little purple bubble mailers, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $45 charge on top of that. It is the only way you can share coins all the way through the mail. And keep in mind, if you have it registered, you will have to sign for it when it arrives. We also hold packages. If you want to maximize your shipping, all you got to do is let me know, hold your package so you can fill it up. And we will do so. You don't have... And just a reminder to everybody, you do not have to wait until it's full. If you get tired of waiting, all you have to do is email me and say, hey, send me my stuff. And we will get it out on the way to you. I am been recommending to everybody wait until after Christmas. I'd even say wait until the beginning of January before, if you have a package being held right now. Just because holidays, Christmas, porch pirates are out in force. At least if it's sitting here, you know it's safe. And then, as always, look down in our description for the rest of our rules and policies. Here's our Facebook link. Oops. Minus the slash at the end. I accidentally bumped a key. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do put the lot list on there every time we have a sale. And we also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email. Cheapskatecoins@gmail.com and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list in your email a couple of days before every sale. And you have the ability to pre-purchase items from that list. It's first come, first serve, just like our sales. So if you want something, don't wait, jump on it. And we do not charge right away for pre-sales. We wait until the night of the sale and invoice everybody together. If you're new, you can get stuff tonight. You just have to send me an email by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, your channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payment. And then, of course, the night of the sale, when we put the list up on Facebook, on our Facebook page, anything that went in pre-sale has been removed from that list. Still trying to find the Prussia coin to put David's name on it. I keep skipping it, apparently. India, Denmark, blah, blah, blah. Give me a second. I gotta find this coin real quick. Put his name on it. No. There it is. Got it. All right. David Gersh. How's your package looking? I don't know. I can look real quick. Give me a sec. Moose Socks, you are maybe half. You're about halfway. You're in a padded mailer right now. It's about halfway. Yeah, if it's on the list, that just means I missed it when I took it off. But yes, you got it. You did get it. Oh, I let everybody know in the beginning of all the countries that were all the way gone. And Canada is one of those. Every single Canada coin is gone, including the 3 that you got. I'm just human. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to grab a drink real quick and then we'll get going. Moose said its Christmas spirit is overflowing. All right, here we go. Showing 5 people on right now. Hopefully we'll get a few more. As the night rolls on. I don't even know if that's even accurate, actually, because I'm pretty sure I've been talking to more than 5 of you. Let's see, Doug, Westside, David, Moose, Gold maple. Dandy Dave is still listening in, I'm pretty sure, so that'd be 6. Here. All right, Panama. All right, so some of the Panama did go in pre-sale. We do still have a few left. All right, the 1904 in fine went in pre-sale, but the VF version of that coin is still available. That is going to be our first coin of the evening. 1904 5 centésimos, 90% silver VF. I'm going to need to discover that. It's a smaller coin. $10. Ooh. Focus. Focus properly. There we go. Anybody? That's some of that old school Panama right there. All right, moving on. I remember when I couldn't keep Panama in. Anytime I got it, it was gone instantly. Which makes sense. I mean, it's one of the. I think it's right now. It's tied with Britain for the second most collected country of coins in the world. Next up, 1931, 1/10 Balboa. This one's in a fine, going for $8, 90% silver, 200,000 minted, which means there's probably, what, 30,000 of these left that haven't been melted down? So the rough average is about 80% of all world silver coins have been melted. What lies is Westside spreading? I don't know, man. He's spouting stuff about you having Christmas spirit. It's crazy. We all know you're the Grinch. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up. These are the last 3 of the Panama coins. Somebody should grab these. This is a stupid easy investment right now. By the way, I just reminded everybody, so I forgot to mention at the beginning, this is a consignment sale, so prices are set. I can't change the prices. They are what the owner said they are. And then anything that doesn't sell tonight, he's picking up in the morning. Because he's going to a big show in Vegas over the weekend, and he's taking all the leftovers with. So if you want something, get it. And you are able to make payments up to 4 weeks from tonight. So anything you buy tonight, you have until the 7th of January to pay off. So keep that in mind. All right, there are 3 of these available. We went over these right at the beginning of the stream. With the new silver prices, these are now $5 over melt. These are the 1974 20 Balboas. They're all Jim BUs. List price on these is over $300, by the way. The NGC list price. But right now, if you buy these, you are getting it at $5 over melt. And the way silver's going right now, I would be willing to bet 1 week from now you will have gotten it for under melt. Anybody? And you have 4 weeks to pay it off, so. I don't want to take them out the bags, but they are all Jim BUs. I know some of it's a little blocked by the bag and the tape, but they are all Jim BUs. Yeah, and when you got yours, the price on these were way less. I think you got yours for like $190 or something like that. Or $210 or one of those. Wow, nobody. All right. $5 over melt and y'all don't want it? Okay. I'm trying to help you out. Trying to give you good advice, but it's like they say, you can lead a horse to water. You can't force him to drink. Hey, one going to Moose Ox. Congrats, sir. All right, if anybody decides you want one of the other two, let me know by the end of the night. Otherwise, they're going back to the owner in the morning. Excuse me. Oh, and anybody that's going to be doing payments, make sure you let me know tonight that you're going to be doing payments and what your payment schedule is going to be, so I can make a note of it. One moment. Alrighty. Alright, next up, we have one coin from Portugal. Oh yeah, those are some of the biggest coins out there. There's not much bigger than that. 1942, 2.5 escudos, 65% silver in fine. Going for $6. The way these came in, these all had the assayed silver weights written on them already as part of the markings that were already there. All right, moving on. All right, next up, Couple of coins from Netherlands Antilles. They're actually the same coin, but they're different grades. Right, so these are the 1960 quarter gulden. 64% silver. We have one in VF. NGC list on the VF one is 41 bucks. It's going tonight for 18. And then one in EF. NGC list on that one is 55 and it's going for 25. So here's the VF. This is the $18 one. And here is the EF. This is the $25 one. And that one's actually 67. I had it on there wrong. Alright. This one is actually the 1967 with the fish and star. That's actually the 200,000 minted. I need to fix that listing real quick. I messed up on that one. 67. Star and fish. $200K. All right. Let's take out the incorrect list. There we go. And let's put the corrected one. There we go. There's the corrected one. So that's this one. 1967 star and fish. Quarter gulden. An EF 200,000 minted. NGC list 55 bucks. Going for 25. And that's, of course, right there. The fish with the little star right behind its tail. So anybody on either of these? This one again, this is the $25 one. And then this is the $18 one, which is just the 1960. 240,000 minted. But, all right, last call on these. We got to move on. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got one coin from Greece. Right? This is the 1960 20 drachma. Oop, let me switch the camera back over. Blink. 83.5% silver. This one's in an AU. It's actually one of the nicer ones I've seen in a while. Going for 25 bucks. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, we are making a big jump down the list now because all the Guatemala went in pre-sale, as did the Iraq. So we are now on Netherlands East Indies. All right, there's one coin, two available, and they're both VFs. 1942S, 1/10 Guldens, 72% silver, and they are $3 each. Oop, that's a quarter Gulden. All right. All right, never mind. There's one of these available. Gotta fix that other one. Man, I was slipping when I put some of these on. All right, let me give you guys a better view of the one. Anybody at $3? Yeah. I mean, 73 of them went in pre-sale, though, so. 75 if you count the one that you got and the one that that David got right before the stream started. It's not going to be long before you're not going to be able to get any kind of silver coin for $3 already. Is the other one sold already? No, the other one is a different coin. I wasn't paying attention. So there's only actually one of these available. All right, moving on. All right, and here's the actual other one. The 1942S quarter Gulden. 72% silver VF. This one's going for $7. Anybody? Netherlands East Indies. All right, moving on. All right. The Finland coin went in pre-sale, so we are now on to India. Dutch West Indies was Suriname. And the ABC Islands, the Dutch East Indies was Indonesia. Yep. All right. All right, kicking these off is the 1945B quarter rupee. 50% silver VF toned. These are, of course, British ruled India era. Has a cool toning on it. Anybody, $5. Something going on out there tonight. I hear cop cars flying by like crazy. All right, moving on. Next up, 1943L half rupee. That would be the Lahore Mint. 50% silver VF, $7. Man, they're still going. Can you guys hear that? That is crazy. There's something big going on. All right, moving on. Next up, 44L half rupee. This one's at a fine for $7. I don't know why I'm still under the scope, but whatever. At least you're getting a good view. So anybody who doesn't know India coins, if there's a little L like that one has, then it's the Lahore Mint. If it's the little dot, basically, then that's the B Mint, the B Mint mark, which is the Bombay Mint. Moosehawk's bidding the 43. You got it, sir. All right, moving on. All right, next up. The 1909 C, 1 rupee. 91.7% silver in fine. It is hold. So it's priced as a VG at 25 bucks. King Edward. That is a very awesome coin. So a couple little stats on this one. The cement, by the way, the cement is the Calcutta mint. In case anybody was wondering. So current melt on this coin as of right this second is $21.53. I'm not looking at chat right now, so if anybody's binning it, give me a second. I'll catch up. All right. Better than a Morgan and a Peace dollar. I mean, for somebody like yourself that has decided that you don't like any of the American coins, I guess you would like it better. I personally would take a Morgan dollar over this coin, but that's just me. Especially depending on the Morgan. There are some Morgans out there that are really expensive. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got 2 of these available tonight. These are the 1942 B with dot. These are in VF and they're 18 bucks each. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, obviously me too. I love all coins. Even the countries that most people are like, meh, like Sweden, I still like them. Anybody on these? 18 bucks each. All right, moving on. Next up, 43B, 1 rupee. VF for 18. Alrighty, no love for India tonight. Moving on. Last one from India, 44L. 1 rupee. VF, 18 bucks. All right, moving on. Yeah, I can't afford gold. That's why you rarely ever see gold in my sales, because I can't afford it. And when you do see gold in my sales, it's the little teeny, like, 20th ounce gold coins. Right, next up, got a couple of coins from Denmark. We don't get Denmark very often. First one, 1915, 10 ore, Denmark. 40% silver, fine, 8 bucks. Going to David. Congrats, sir. Oh, by the way, David, here's the other one you got. So you can see it. That Kingdom of Prussia coin that you got earlier. There it is. All right, and then the second coin from Denmark is the 1919 10 ore. VF, 40 bucks. Or 4 bucks. And going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. Doug beat you, David. All right. Next up, we got 2 coins from Colombia. For those of you that like that Central and South American silver. First one is 1941 10 centavo. 90% silver AU. Check that puppy out. Slight bit of wear on his cheek at the high point. And that's about it. That is a great looking coin. Anybody at $8? I don't know if you can see this over this under the scope. That is full cartwheel still on the luster. And going to Moose Socks. Yeah, you don't see Columbia coins looking like that very often. All right, and then the second coin from Colombia, 1914, 20 centavo. 90% silver and fine, $12. Let me double check this one real quick. This is an example of one of those that very well could be flirting with melt. Yeah, current melt on this coin as of right this second is $9.06. Just in melt. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up, Mozambique. All right, the 1951 2.5 escudos went in pre-sale, but we do still have the 1965 escudos. 65% silver in fine. And this one's going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. Right. Another wave of cops going by. All right. Next up, Honduras all went in pre-sale. Yemen went at the beginning of the streaming pre-sale. So we've got one coin from East Africa. Another section of Africa we rarely get coins from. Normally, most of the stuff we get from there is South Africa. 1942, 50 cents. 25% silver in good, $6. It's got that dark toning going on. When you get these silver coins with that dark toning, it's hard to get the light to light them up really well. All right, Let me try scoping it. There we go. There you go. East Africa, 50 cent, also known as a half shilling. Got the lion walking on the African plain. And of course, King George the Younger. Anybody, $6. Wow, nobody. That is surprising. All right, moving on. I'm not sure somebody would have grabbed that one. All right, next up, Mexico. All right, first one up. There's 2 available. Oh, Blue Sox is coming in late for that East Africa. You got it, sir. All right. All good. All right, so these are the 1937 20 centavos. There's 2 available. One is in a VF for 6, and then one is an EF for 7. So this is the VF. That's the $6 one. And then here's the EF, the $7 one. Which, in my personal opinion, the guy that graded these, in my personal opinion, undergraded this one. I would have called this one an AU. I am not seeing enough wear on this thing to qualify it as a VF or as an EF. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, it's still got luster. Yeah, somebody should grab this one. In my opinion, that's an AU. I think the person that graded that is undergraded it. Anybody on these? And then the nice one is going to Doug. It's still going to say EF on it, so just keep that in mind. All right, last call on the VF version. See, this one is a legit VF. All right, moving on. All right, next up, we got the 1939 20 centavo. EF for $7. Yeah, see, this one looks more like an EF. You have more wear up in here, more down here, and a little bit more on the high points on the bird. That looks more like an EF. All right, moving on. To the 1941 20 centavo. This one's an EF for $6. There's another one that's borderline. This one's still got luster. Yeah, I would call this one borderline. This one might be a low AU as well. And you can't see it on the camera, but it's almost got this like bluish hue to it. It looks really cool. Yeah. Yeah, that one's borderline. Possibly a low AU as well. Anybody, $6? But, I mean, you can never fault somebody for, you know, playing it safe and not overgrading something. I do the same thing. Like this one. I don't know. This is one of those I probably would have stared at it for an hour before determining what grade I'm going to put on it. But honestly, I probably would have put AU on this one. I mean, it's still got almost full cartwheel luster. But, alright, moving on. Alright, last two from Mexico are the same. These are 1947 1 pesos. 50% silver. They're both AUs, and they're $18 each. Anybody? All right, moving on. Anybody decides you want any more of that Mexico, let me know before the end of the night. Because, again, these are going to be gone in the morning. They're going back to the owner. All right, next up we have one coin from the Bahamas. It is a 1966 50 cent. 80% silver BU. 700,000 of these ever made. And go for $25. That again, for the when you're seeing these numbers like that, that's the assayed silver weight of this coin. They had it marked on every single one of them. It's handy. All right, moving on. Give me a second. Rearranging my table real quick. So everything is moved over. Easier to grab. All right. Next up, we're going to France. And kicking off France is going to be on the scope because these are smaller coins. All right, first one up, 1916, 50 centimes. 83.5% silver, EF, $6. Anybody? All right, moving on. Next one up, we have two available. These are the 1918 50 centimes. They are both AUs and $8 each. Here is number one. Here is number two. So you have one with pretty much no toning or just a slight bit of toning, or you have a more of a dark tone version. So if anybody bends one of these, let me know if you want the more toned or the less toned. Again, that's the more toned. You can kind of see some of the color on there that goes along with it. And then, of course, the less toned. Anybody? Either one. All right, moving on. Next up is the 1918 1 franc. $14 AU. Anybody? All right, moving on to the 1965 francs. AU for $35. Man, no love for France tonight, I see. All right, moving on to the 1963 5 francs. This one is EF, $22. All right, moving on. And the last one from France, 1966 5 franc BU toned, $35. Trying to get that sharp focus on some of these. All right. No love at all for France. Got it. All right. Next up is Romania. The 1910 50 Bonnie went in pre-sale, as did the 1906 1 Liu. So we only have one Romania coin left. And it is the 1912 50 Bonnie. 83.5% silver in good, going for $8. Romania is definitely a country that we do not have come across our desk very often. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up is Ireland. The 1928 shilling. Went in pre-sale. So kicking off Ireland is going to be the 1935 shilling. 72% silver in fine. Low mintage of 400,000 on this. Does have a scratch on it. And I think it's got a die clash. What would that be on that side? What do you guys think? Right there. I don't know. Could be. But at any rate, they're looking for 14 bucks on this one. Yeah, and then you can see a little bit of an imprint right there. I think that's a die clash. I just don't know that it's a die clash of this coin. I think it's a die clash with a different coin. Yeah, if anybody grabs this one, I would definitely say give this one some study. Because I'm seeing everywhere I look now, I'm seeing imprint. There's imprint design there, down here, up here, right there, down here. That's just a scratch. I think. Yeah, I don't know. There's some interesting stuff going on with this one. So yeah, if anybody gets this one, I would say give this one some study. Because you might be onto something. There's something going on right there, too. And there's a lot going on with this coin. Going to Doug. Yeah, Doug, definitely give this coin some scrutiny. Make a note of it. So when you get your coins in, you know to look at this one. There's a lot going on with that coin. All right, at any rate, congrats, sir. And then the last one from Ireland. This is the 1966 10 shilling Eastern Rebellion commemorative. It's AU, 83.3% silver. So 2 million of these were minted, and then the mint melted down 1.27 million of them. So that left... my brain's not working right at the moment. It'd be what, 70 or 730 mil, or yeah, 730,000 that actually made it out to circulation, or to the, not circulation, but to the masses. This one's going for 40 bucks. Definitely the first time we have ever had this coin come across our desk. Oh, it's Easter Rebellion, not Eastern. I added an extra N in there. Let me see something on this one real quick. That's the anniversary of the Easter Rising. At the time the coin was made, it was the 50th anniversary. Current melt on this one, as of right this second, is $30.21. This is almost a half ounce of silver in this coin. 0.486 ounce. All right, last call on this one. Wow, that's surprising. I thought sure somebody would have taken that one. But, all right, moving on. All right, next up, Britain. We've got 3 coins. All right, I'm going to start going through these a little bit faster, guys, because for especially our guys on the East Coast, I don't want to be keeping everybody up till midnight. And it's already, what, 11:15 over on the East Coast. All right, first one is 1909, 6 pence. 92.5% silver in fine. King Edward. Going for $8. All right, moving on. Oh, yeah, you guys are 2 hours ahead of us right now. Still, I don't want you... You know, we're only a little over halfway through the list, and we've already been on for almost an hour and a half, so... Yeah, I want to pick up the pace a little bit. 1931, this one is an EF. Going for $5. 50% silver. All right, moving on. And then the last one from Britain is 1906 shilling. Another King Edward coin. And that's a typo. It is not 50% silver. It's 925 sterling. So ignore that. I'm going to go over 14 bucks. There you go. There it is with the corrected silver. All right, moving on. Next up, we got one coin from Norway, and it is a key date coin. Low mintage, and an oldie. This is the 1869 3 skilling. And this one's going to David. It's 25% silver. It is in an about good, which is why it's only $8 for a key date. 103,000 of these ever made. Congrats to David. All right. Ceylon all went in pre-sale. Prussia went in the beginning. So we are now on to Latvia. I don't know that we've ever had silver coins from Latvia before. So this might be a first for a Cheapskate stream. It's the same coin. There's two available. These are 1924 one latch. 83.5% silver in VF. They're $14 each. Kind of cool with the toning. It almost gives it almost like a proof-like look. Or like a proof frosting look. It's kind of neat. Just makes it all stand out. And then there's without the toning. So we got one without toning and one with. So look. It's crazy how much different they look, huh? So if anybody gets one, let me know if you want without toning or with toning. With? Without. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, Liberia. Kicking off Liberia is the 1960 25 cent. Hey, Wayne. 90% silver VF, 900,000 minted, $15. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up, these are all the ones that we talked about in the beginning that are getting close to the price being the melt value. By the way, each one of these, you'll see, only had 20,000 minted. These are all very low mintage coins. All right, we got from the year 2000, the $20 Bill Clinton coin, 3 nines fine silver, proof decam, 20,000 minted, $45. Gonna do this real quick, and if you want to bin one, just let me know which one or which few. All right, so there's also the 2000 James Carter, or as we call him, Jimmy Carter. And then from 2001, the Bill Clinton is going to Wayne. The ratification of Constitution. And then 2006, John F. Kennedy. All right, so Clinton and Carter both going to Wayne. And Kennedy going to Wayne, which leaves the ratification of the Constitution. All right, anybody on that last one? All right, moving on. Again, if anybody decides you want those, let me know by the end of the night, because these are going back to the owner in the morning. All right, next up, Curacao. Kicking off is the 1944 D, 10 gulden, or 1/10 gulden. 64% silver, VF, $4. Starting to get that cool gold patina on it. And again, for anybody who wasn't watching silver prices today, silver just at the beginning of the stream jumped up to the new record high. It was at 62.87 per ounce. That set a new record. Right now it's at 61.96. But I'm betting as soon as, morning hits and the markets open up and all that, that's going to shoot up again a bunch, again like it did today. All right, moving on. To the 1947 1/10 Gulden. This one's an AU for $8. I would not either. I would wait until it all balances out. But, I mean, at the same time, if in another 6 months it's over $100, you're going to be kicking yourself. So, that's the bullion gamble. All right, moving on. And the last one from Curacao. $1944 1/4 Gulden. This one's a VF for $6. It's kind of funny because I've had people that have asked me, like, why do you charge so much more for your world silver coins than you did back in, in 2018, 2019 when you first started selling them? I'm like, dude, silver was $13 an ounce back then. That's why. All right, moving on. All right, next up we have one coin from the Dominican Republic. And it is a 1963 10 centavo. 65% silver, extremely fine, $5. Anybody? All right, moving on. All right, next up, David, here's the ones you've been waiting for. Germany. Starting off with the 1936A, 5 marks. This would be Third Reich era. 90% silver, extremely fine, $30. And going to David. Almost a half ounce of silver in that. All right, and then the other one from Germany is 1951F, 5 marks. Oop, that's the same one. There we go. There's the right one. Extremely fine, 18 bucks, 62.5% silver. And going to David. See, David, you had nothing to worry about. You can trust it when you do pre-sale from me. All right. El Salvador went in pre-sale, so we are on to Italy. All right, so I'm just gonna link all of these in one shot, because these are all the 500 liars. There's only 1958. These are all 83.5% silver. That's the only VF of the bunch. It's 20 bucks. 59 EF, 22. 60 EF, 22. And 64 EF, 22. All right, here is the 58. That's the VF, the $20 one. $59 EF. The 60 EF. And the 64 EF. That kind of cool dark toning on one side. There's another one I actually want to check real quick. Yeah, current melt on these right this second is $18.30. $18.31. $18.31. So the $20 one, that 1850 or that 1958, you're getting it for $1.69 over melt. And then the other three you're getting for $3.69 over melt. It's not bad. Last call on these. Then we got to move on. Got 5 more countries to get to. All right, moving on. Then Dominican Republic. You got it. Dominican Republic going to Doug. Doug. Next up, this is one of them I'm surprised made it to the sale, because usually these don't make it through pre-sale. We got one coin from Cuba. And it is the 1920. 20 centavos. 90% silver in good. $12. Of course, not a lot of Cuban money in the U.S. because, you know, of course, the embargo that is seeming like it's just going to last forever, regardless who's in charge over there. But all right, moving on. Next up, your Lebanon went in pre-sale. Saudi Arabia, Chile, and Japan all went in pre-sale. As did Iran. So we are on to Brazil. Oh, Wayne came in late for the Cuba. Congrats, Wayne. All right. So we got 2 coins from Brazil. First one is 1924 2000 Rise. 50% silver, VG, $10. All right, moving on to the 1926 2000 Rise. This one's in a fine for 12. Hey, Richard. All right, moving on. To Morocco. Oh, might have if I actually show it first. Or link it first. All right. So the 1961 dirham did go in pre-sale. But we still got the 5,300 francs. 72% silver VF for $8. Going to Wayne. All right. And then we've also still got the 1965 5 dirham. Off there. 60% silver, VF, $20. Hey, Richard, did you see that silver about an hour and a half ago hit record high? $62.87 an ounce it spiked up to. All right, moving on. Next up, Belgium. Second to last country of the night. Kick it off, Belgium. It's going to be a 1901 50 centavo. 83.5 silver in good. Going for $8. It was a heck of a nose that Leopold had. All right, moving on. All right, and then the other coin from Belgium. Oh, nope. 1901 went to Doug. Congrats, Doug. All right, but we are on the 1909 2 francs. 83.5% silver VF for 20. All right, moving on. And the last country of the night is Austria. Got 4 coins from Austria tonight. And then we will do the recap. All right, so kicking off Austria tonight. 1961, 5 shillings. $64 silver, extremely fine. That one's still got some luster to it. $10. I haven't mentioned in a while, but one of the coolest things about Austria is, as far as coins go, is they have the longest consecutively running mint in the world, closing in on 900 years that it's been operating without ever closing. It's pretty cool. All right, moving on. And just a reminder to everybody, anything that did not go tonight is going back to the owner in the morning. So tonight is your only option at these. Next up, 1962, 5 shillings. This one's an AU. Which camera's not really doing this one justice. It looks really nice. Over 18 bucks. Newer machines than 900 years ago. Well, yeah, 900 years ago, the minting machine was a guy with a hammer and a dude with a really long pair of tongs that would hold the thing so the guy could, bam. All right, moving on to the 1967 5 shilling AU. 18 bucks. If you guys have never seen, you should actually look into like these 5 shilling and 10 shilling coins. When you start approaching like the really good grades on these things, they get expensive quick. I've seen a 5 shilling that was in like a, I want to say it was like a 66 or a 67 grade. That went for like 5 grand. It's not bad. All right, moving on. Last coin of the night before the recap. 1958, 10 shilling. AU, 24 bucks. All right, I'm going to start going over the recap here. All right, Panama. 1904 5 centésimos and 1931 1/10 Balboa. And 2 of the 1974 20 Balboas. Which, as of right now, you're getting those for basically the 20 Balboas for $5 over melt. We looked them up at the beginning of the stream. The giant 20 Balboa right now, at the price they're at right now, is $5 over melt. There's 2 still left. If anybody's looking for silver investment, I would recommend grab those coins. And just a reminder, you do have until January 7th to make payments. But it does have to be all the way paid up by January 7th. And here is them big old 20 Balboas again. If you've never seen a 20 Balboa, they're $250 each, Richard. Their current melt value is $245. If you've never seen a 20 Balboa in person, here's a 20 Balboa. Here is the Silver Eagle. That's like 3 of these stacked on top of each other in thickness. Assayed silver weight on a 20 Balboa, 3.8539 ounces. And yeah, current melt $239.33 as of right this second. I have 2 of them left. So if you want them, you got to grab them tonight or they're going back to the owner tomorrow. Because these are not mine. All right, well, while Richard's pondering if he wants to grab those. All right, we've also got the Escudos, or the 1942 2.5 Escudo Portugal. All right, Richard's grabbing both of those. 20 Balboas. Congrats, sir. The 20 Balboas, no, these were never circulating coins. These were basically made for collectors only. That's why the mintages on all of them are so low. All right. Oh, yeah, so the 2.5 Escudo Portugal, both of the Netherlands Antilles coins. Which the Netherlands Antilles coins were both the really low mintage one. They were both right around 200,000 minted. The 20 drachma Greece. Both the coins from Netherlands East Indies. Anybody on any of those so far? So now again, that's Panama. There's the 5 Centesimo. And the 1/10 Balboa. And then Portugal, Netherlands Antilles, Greece, and Netherlands East Indies. Anybody on any of those? All right, India. Everything but the 1943 L half rupee is still available from India. The 1914 20 centavo Colombia is still available. Mexico, everything but the 1937 20 centavo is still available. Anybody on any of those? That's India, Colombia, and Mexico. All right, the 1968 50-cent Bahamas is still available. All of the France is still available. The 1912 50 Bonnie from Romania is still available. Will do, sir. Have a good night and a good sleep. And then the one that I'm amazed did not sell still is that Ireland coin. That 10 shilling. That thing is surprisingly still available. Yeah, you can see it. Let me link it again. So it's the 1966 10 shilling. Give me a sec, I gotta dig it out. Mr. Ireland, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Not you, not you. No, no, no. No, no, no. All right, there we go. Yeah, so it's the Easter Rebellion commemorative from 1966. 83.3 silver AU. There were 2 million minted, and then the mint melted down 1.27 million of them, leaving only, 783,000? Something like that. That actually made it out to the masses. It's $40. And going to Richard. Gratzer. All right. Anybody on any of those others? All done? You have reached your budget? All right, we've also got all three of the Britain still available. Both of the 1924 one lats from Latvia are still available. The 1960 25-cent Liberia is still available, as is one of the 2001 $20 ratification of Congress. That's the 3/9 fine silver at only 20,000 minted is still available. Anybody on those? All right, and then all three of the Curacao are still available. All of the Italy 500 Liars are still available. Have a good night, man. Thanks for popping in and grabbing some stuff. The 2 Brazil coins are still available. And then from Morocco, the 1965 5 Durham is still available. Anybody on any of those? All right, and then from Belgium, the 1909 2 franc is still available. All of the Austria. And that's it. So last call on everything. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great night. If you did not say you're making payments, and let me know. You're just going to make your entire payment on January 2nd? For everything? All right, yeah, that's fine. As long as it's before the 7th. That's the deadline. So let me put a note on yours. Paying on the 2nd. Got it. Yeah, so I'll invoice you that week for those. Well, it'll be... Yeah, it'll be that week. So I'll probably, like, somewhere around, like, the 30th for anybody who's paying at the beginning of January. So probably, yeah, probably around December 30th is when I'll send out the invoice. But alright, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Just a reminder that for this week, the normal sale is going to be on Saturday. And that's just because I got, from getting everything done with this sale and everything else going on, I got a day behind on everything. That's why this one happened today instead of yesterday. And then I had to also put the Friday night sale one day later. So we're going to be on Saturday this week. So just keep that in mind. There's still a possibility that list might come out at like almost last minute. I'll try and get it done quicker. But I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So everybody have a great night. I'm going to get out of here. As always, give me time to get the invoices together and out. And I will see all of you hopefully on Saturday.